Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday morning and I think the sun's gone in, which is a shame because I planned to sit outside in the garden reading this afternoon, so I hope it's nice enough. It's been quite a busy and full few days over the weekend, which has been nice. Days full of the Eurovision Song Contest and all the attendant fuss around that. Jeremy watches all of it and tweets about every song, and this year he was caught up in the fuss about whether to boycott the Eurovision or not and all the dramas there. And he ended up on the radio. He was on Radio 4 and then he was on Sky News on the telly, broadcasting live from our living room, giving all his thoughts about the Eurovision Song Contest. And Panda even made it onto Sky News on Saturday morning, which is one of the highlights of the weekend. We also had, we went to a housewarming in Glossop with friends of ours and listened to music in the garden and drank lemonade and saw lots of dogs. So that was Saturday afternoon. And it was Doctor Who weekend as well, with the first 2 episodes of the new season of Doctor Who with Ncuti Gatwa, which meant 2 very late nights. I think watching episodes until 2 in the morning. And then, of course, with all the discussion afterwards. Doctor Who is like watching football is for football fans, I guess, with lots and lots of discussion. I like the magical realist elements coming into Doctor Who. I was always in favour of that kind of stuff and was always told I was too silly for bringing those kinds of things in. Now they're doing it on TV. My friend Bob was visiting from Brighton. He's an actor and an artist, and he was up and we had an evening out on Friday night in the gay village in town, and we're joined by other friends and had drinks on Canal Street and all those bars. And because Bob's an artist, I met him a bit earlier and posed for some drawings. He did some nudes of me on the Friday afternoon, which was quite liberating and exciting and interesting to do. So that was Friday, and I did write my words on Friday. So what am I? 9,000 words into a 20,000 word project. It's a Doctor Who thing, a tie-in thing that will be announced in due course, I guess. And I've still got more than half of that to do. That's the next couple of weeks. So I'll be getting down to some Doctor Who writing again next week. And hopefully at some point returning to this novel of mine that still needs the last third sorting out. This is the kind of thriller type novel I'm doing. And I've just finished reading A Monster Calls, Patrick Ness. There hasn't been much time for reading, which is really annoying. When I stay up late, I'm really tired now, and I just zonk out. I love that word. I zonk out when I go to bed. I can't read with tired eyes anymore. That's getting old. Anyway, I loved A Monster Calls. It's almost unbearably sad by the end of it, and it articulates something in its final scenes about letting go of people that was very moving to me. Sorry, the battery's going. I hope you can still see me. Yeah, there's stuff at the end about I guess about the way people blame themselves for their feelings, and the monster is there to tell our hero, Connor, that he's all right feeling those feelings. It sounds such a cliche when you put it in normal words, but in the course of the story, it's incredibly moving that he's not to blame himself for the way he feels about the situation he's in. And this interesting thing about it's not the words in your head, it's the actions you do and how you show your love for someone that you're concerned about, rather than just internalizing all the struggle in words and doing nothing and not letting them know how much you love them. And that I found very moving. There's bits of it maybe I need to reread it. The stories that the monster tells don't quite come into focus for me, but I'm sure that's just me and my attention span at the moment. The best scenes were the ones in the real world with the grandma and the mother, the ailing mother. Oh, and the father as well. It's a very good book, I think, and I preferred it to the other things of his I've read. Now, it kind of leapt off the shelf as well. It wasn't part of my endless, ordered piles of to be read books. So that was good. The book suggested itself, and I read it immediately. I'm going to try and stick to reading one book at a time for a while, anyway. And I'm not sure what's next. I have things that I've been waiting to get to. But it depends on the mood I'm in. Do I want, and I'm just looking along now, do I want a saga? Do I want history? A whodunit? Or fantasy? I don't know. Because I've got the Travis Baldry there, which I've been waiting to get to, the second one. And I really enjoyed the first one a lot. So I don't know. Or maybe this one, which I think I've talked about before, the one about the woman with the stall of penguins. One thing that came up yesterday was a few of us had all read the same. Oh, I forget. Is it Andrei Kirchhoff who did Death and the Penguin? And my friend Rylan had read it. It's one of Jeremy's favourite books. It was years ago it came out. It's a novel set in the Ukraine about a man who rescues a penguin from the zoo. And the scene I remembered was where he's hoping that his rescued penguin is settling in his flat. And he settles down to do something, writing something, I think, in his living room. And he hears the penguin in the bathroom. And there's a kind of squonk noise from next door as the penguin slides down the bath into the water, the deeper water, and he knows the penguin is relaxing, so he feels pleased. And I found that very funny and touching, and I still do. But that's almost the only thing I remember about the Kirchhoff book, which is, it's daft really what you remember, because Rylan remembered much more. I might have to dig that out and reread that at some point. How can I ever progress with these to-be-read piles if I keep rereading things and digging out things that I like and want to go back to? It's a balance. We've restarted the Levenshume Little Library outside because it's been so dry. We've been able to put books outside, and so if anybody's nearby, do come and take some books away. Other people have systems where you have to return books or swap them. Not here. If there's books outside, just take them away. One of the disheartening things about doing the little library last year was that people didn't take enough and we had too many books out and things got spoiled when the weather changed. And that is quite disheartening. You find that people who are real readers are very selective and hesitant and will take one, maybe two. But that's because they place such value on books. Mostly, people these days don't see books as having any intrinsic value. You can't even give them away. And when you try and, have 3 for £1, say, on a jumble trail stall, you can't get rid of them. It's very upsetting. And I think there's something that's happened in the world, and probably to do with things like e-books and supermarkets and all that kind of the way they sell books these days. The idea of the book has been devalued. Maybe people are reading less. I don't know. I find all that kind of upsetting. The people I do know who read really do value them. Some of them anyway. People are all concerned about how much space in the house they will give over to such things. I like having a lot of books around, as you can probably gather. Anyway, I'm going to make some more coffee. This is a shorter episode. I'm just catching you up with all my adventures, including very civilized parties, nights out, long episodes of the Eurovision Song Contest. I liked Switzerland best. I also liked Spain, who did very badly. And posing for life-drawning. And what else? I guess that's a good resume of everything we've been up to. A little bit of sitting in the garden at the table outside with coffee and friends. And that's the proper beginning of summer, when you can sit outside in your own place and have people round sitting outside, feeding them and talking and watching the day pass by happily. I think I look tired. When you see all the little thumbnails of yourself on YouTube, you think, oh, I look tired on that one. And I bet I look back in the future and think, you needed more sleep. I probably do. When the weather's nice, Socks is awake much of the night and comes and wakes me up every couple of hours, because obviously exciting things are happening on in the world of cats, which I have to be told about. Right, I'm going to go. I will say goodbye and upload this for a couple of days' time, or maybe tomorrow, actually. I think I've caught up with my scheduled videos, so you're probably seeing this maybe on Monday. How exciting. I hope you have a good rest of the weekend, everyone, or you had a good rest of the weekend. And I'll see you again soon in the next episode. Goodbye.